saying?
Give thanks to life, you know?
No, serious thing. We got a special show today with a special guest, the great Nesbeth. Nesbeth, what are you saying?
Blessed love, man. Happy to be here.
Well, what part you in right now? I know where you in the States.
Yeah, forward yesterday. Then I Brooklyn to be exact, you know.
All right, cool then. NYC vibes.
Eastern Parkway side, they say, you know.
All right, cool then. We want to start the thing off and get into the early aspect, right? Specifically the upbringing in the inner city. I recently watched a reasoning you did with Teach Them, and you guys touched a point I wanted to elaborate on in regards to how you refer to like PTSD in a sense. The effects of living in a certain environment and how it kind of prevents you from having access to a proper education.
Well, in the inner city, as I always tell anyone, the inner city is where the less fortunate gathered not by choice. So born and grow with little or nothing to survive on, and we just have to use whatever we have at our disposal to get to comfort ourselves until we can get otherwise. So it's pretty much challenging. Where you have more people than food, you naturally breed enemies, because you now become an enemy of yourself because you can't even feed yourself. So therefore, a conversation that is supposed to be fluent now have, you know, obstacles in between. And so all of them things that just go in a negative vibration, which adjusts the anger of the people because of the situation in most cases, because most of us don't really know how to deal with it. And of course, you know that without a headspace, you're not going to be able to can rationalize certain things and understand that a next man's side is a next man's side, and it's in communicating, you have to understand yourself so that you can understand someone else. But it is pretty much an uphill task. Again, as I say, when you have little or nothing to survive, you just have to do what you have to do. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes you have the art to continue trying and trying, even different ways. And sometimes it takes forever for work. Sometimes it do work, and even when it works, you still have to move to the next stage that you yourself probably is not knowledgeable of, and you just learn as you go along the way. But it is challenging.
It's crucial. So they even mentioned that to say even become all an enemy yourself too, because that one thing we wouldn't really discuss whole heap. Normally we talk about the external enemy, but the internal enemy is something where it not really highlighted as much too. So it's something we feel like for be expounded upon, because we realize just like in the ghetto, most talent normally in the ghetto, you know, and there is one of the talent to rise out. But there I feel like at the obstacle that where the youths them really gets them stop themselves. Why I feel like even beyond just the regular science of things, why I feel like them stop themselves the way they know, and even them can't excel beyond that. Youth not get in the garrison is a baller, a good baller, but yet still in talent just stop right there, and it can't go beyond that. Besides resources, which we know are the general answer. But I feel like contribute to that even more, since you mentioned the internal enemy.
There's a whole lot of things, you know, and you know, different individuals have different situations, and as a result of that, sometimes it lead out to the same, like, stop. You know what I say? But it comes from different angle. Like, some people really don't know if to conduct themselves either, and some people want to disassociate themselves from somebody, in most cases, with a short temper, somebody who love violence. You know, me I say the first thing first is violent, then no really sit down for things and make a reason, because on everybody reasoning ability is up to par. And of course, you know, when you're growing at the inner city, you were taught that to be strong, you have to put up your fist, and you have to give in to the eye for an eye mentality to be strong. And as I say in previous time, that I've always been saying it, being strong, you have to strong across the board, financially. You know, me I say strong education wise, strong spiritually, because of the whole of them things that you have to go combine in order to create a balance there. You know me I say, so some people naturally stop themselves, but then sometimes you don't even know you have to stop yourself. So I know something more me can even say, yo, him purposefully do it because me don't know what go on in my head. I have to understand, say, in a history have taught us that at no given time you have leaders more than followers. And for the followers, you know, most followers are pretty much weak. So they are depending on the stronger force to direct them. And sometimes the influence that them really and truly got is to steer them in the wrong direction. So sometimes them themselves see it wrong, but based on the influence, for some reason them still find them way a walk down a path that them live for regret later on. So I think we have a psychological issue as well, because not many people can deal with poverty as it is. Now, but say poverty and poverty alone really make certain things, negative vibration derived, but I think it play a significant part. And I think most of all, you have to find out a man headspace first before. And everybody need a financial help, because you will give somebody you will help somebody financially. And at the end of the day, them themselves is like it is nothing to them. You give a man $1 million today, tomorrow him sit down and look out of space. But everybody have to really sit down for things psychologically. We could try to see if we can do an evaluation to see exactly what it is that someone need, and then channel such help down that path. So again, I don't want to stray away, is that there are so many things that can happen. There are some, and we naturally make mistakes, and some of us make mistakes that we never even live to correct. And some of us make mistake, and is when we're there behind the bars are serving much years, we wish we did get a next chance. So again, we never know. It happened, but we just have to see what, you know, we have to individualize it. We have to really reason with a youth one-on-one to find out exactly. Because sometimes from a youth reasoning, it shows that there are certain disconnection in an headset speed. When you ask certain question, him answer it a certain way. And then emotional is like, we don't, emotional intelligence, we're lack in many areas as it relates to that. So we don't really have that self-love there, come back down, so that we can be able to, you know, show we brother love, and by extension show the world love. So it's a whole heap of thing, yeah, and not it, me can't explain it the way in which I would really want to explain it. The most I can say, my experience, I have seen bits and pieces. I've gotten different reason to say there's a whole lot of things that created that problem. And the problem that Tony may have is not the problem what Harry have. You know what I say? So it's a whole lot of things put together.
If I brought up a great point in regards to having resources. So this the vibe here. A lot of people suffer from mental illness, yeah. That's what it comes down to. And depending on what environment you are in, you don't have, because it's not till I became an adult I realized I suffer from like extreme anxiety in a younger age. You know, I didn't understand what I was experiencing, but when I became an adult and became knowledgeable of it, say, yo, if I was really suffering, but I just had to just take that one myself because I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't have.
And lucky you, because you have grown to realize that you suffered that from then. But some people grow old and even die and still don't realize what it was that they were suffering from.
And it's a crucial thing. So there, so that the reason we ever tell them say you have two categories, you have the elder and you have the older. The older the one them just mature in age, but then you have the ones them who really gather the intelligence and realize that them experiences and them type of thing and build up themselves to a status where them can navigate through the system and become a better human being.
Well, let me hear you say, man.